Well, we're back on the banks and we are on the Marty River Trent, and I'm hoping that I'm playing a lovely looking barbel here, or possibly it might be the dreaded bream. The river is up and it is looking at, oh, there's a chub. I actually thought that was a barbel. Oh, lovely. I've been wanting to get a chub for a couple of weeks on the river. That's absolutely brilliant. Normally when I'm targeting chub, you never catch them. It's always the barbel and vice versa. So come on, little fella, let's be having you. Yeah, nice little fish. Ah, lovely. Whew. So as you can tell, we are on the banks of the Marty Trent. I've been here for about an hour. The river's looking bang on. Heavy winds, low pressure. It looks absolutely bang on, it really does. And the rods have been out for probably, I don't know, half an hour, something like that. And we've got a lovely looking chub here. First one of the session, and it, you know, I'm confident for a fish, I really am. I was here about a week ago and I struggled like mad. It's been mid-20s for about a week and a half. So I'm hoping now, with the river being up probably 2 or 3 foot, fish are coming through, and I've heard on the grapevine a lot of fish are being caught. So this little fella is the first one of the session. Beautiful looking chub, really nice. Absolutely immaculate condition for this stretch. And believe it or not, every time I've come here to target chub, it's only been barbel, so I'm over the moon with that, I really am. So what I'm going to do, I'll get this little fella back, get the feeder loaded up, and then hopefully we can get amongst some barbel later on, or even maybe a few more chub. But yeah, what a lovely fish. Back you go. So we've got one in the bag, absolutely over the moon with that, lovely looking chub. Every time I've come down here to try and catch chub, always failed, never caught them. It's always the barbel and then vice versa. When I'm trying to target the barbel, the chub come along, which is absolutely brilliant. So yeah, we're off the mark in the first hour. Hopefully that's going to be a good sign and we'll catch some fish. I came here about a week and a half ago, did a 24-hour session, and I blanked. Nothing was being caught. The odd fish here and there, but nothing to shout about. Now the past couple of days we've had loads of rain, been really windy, you know, proper thundery showers, and the river has risen about, I'd say 2 foot compared to the last time I was here, and it looks bang on for a bite. And catching that chub hopefully is going to be a sort of a godsend for us, and we're going to get a few barbel throughout the day. And that's what I'm thinking, daytime bites, because this peg is absolutely bang on. Now when I came down here, last, this peg was pretty much stitched up, but I've managed to get in here today, so we've got 24 hours ahead of us. I've had my biggest barbel from here, just over 16 pounds. So all in all, you know, it does produce some big fish. The top end is mainly the smaller ones. Further down you go, the bigger they get. That's what I've noticed over sort of the couple of years that I've been coming on here. So without further ado, it's about 12 o'clock, time for some lunch. I'm going to recast every 45 minutes. I've made my mix really damp, so it's going to last quite a while in them feeders. So hopefully we can get some barbel. There's a few carp coming out as well, so it might be a mixed bag this session. But I'm crossing my fingers for some nice barbels. So without further ado, we'll have a bit of lunch and then we'll go from there. So I'll quickly talk you through the mix that I'm actually using. This is the stuff here. You've got a really nice shrimp and krill ground bait. You've got a various selection of pellets, 5mm, 4mm, 8mm, sweet corn, bit of chopped boilie, and there's a lot of attraction in there. I've put a lot of syrups in there, krill syrup, and I've put a hell of a lot of salmon oil in as well. And the mix itself is very clumpy, it's very damp, very wet, and the reason for that is because the actual flow of the river at the moment is coming through quite fast. We had a lot of rain over the past couple of days and it is absolutely bombing through, so I want the feeder to hold the bait in for as long as possible. So I've put loads of water into this, loads of oils, and I've clumped it together, and as you can see it's really thick and firm. If it was a fairly dry mix, in the flow we've got at the moment, I'd probably say to the last 10 minutes if you were lucky. But this will last probably 30-40 minutes, and I'm going to be recasting every 45 minutes. So tactics wise, I mean, it absolutely stinks. I have to wash my hands every time I do this. But so regarding tactics then, we've got really simple feeder setup here. That's on a heli setup, and then that's a 4-ounce feeder. I can't fish too far out with a 4-ounce. I'll probably get just near halfway, something like that, and I'm holding bottom fine. Yeah, regarding the actual hook link, this is 12-pound mono ESP synchro. That's probably 5 foot long, And then on the bottom end, or the business end, we've got a size 8 curve shank and then a bottom bait boilie there. That's a homemade boilie, which is what I'm going to be starting to use over the next couple of months. And that is pretty much it. Really simple tactics. So now it's time to get this one out. But that was a very nice welcome chub, that was. Like I say, every time I've come to this river to target chub, never have any joy. It's only when I'm targeting the barbel I end up catching them. So I mean, this mix is pungent as anything. It really is. I had a load of shrimp and krill ground bait and pellets left, so I thought I'll bring this down here. And that is, like I say, I've clumped that in really tight. That's going to last in there for ages, and fairly slow leakage as well, but it absolutely stinks. As you can see, all the oil's coming off the water there. Absolutely bang on. So in this fast flowing water, any fish coming through, they're definitely going to pick up on the scent, and then we'll get amongst some. So I'll quickly show you the peg before I cast this rod out. So we've got, I've actually fished this peg before. If you've seen any of my videos, this is the one that did me my 16-pound barbel. It's a really nice peg, a lot of space, and I can fish 3 rods on here. Some of the other pegs are fairly tight, so I've got one rod tucked away just here. I've cast it around there and it's slowly drifted down to there. You've got the actual middle rod, that's in sort of near mid-channel, straight out there. I've sort of cast it, I'm casting them upstream obviously, and they're settling there. And then the right hand rod, I'm casting upstream around this section here, and then that is pretty much it. Really simple tactics. I'm sort of fanning them out, so if any fish coming through, we'll catch them. So I'm going to get this out. I'm fairly confident, to be honest, for a daytime bite for the barbel. I really am, because it just looks really good for a bite. So we'll get this one out, and then I'll show you a few bits and bobs that I'm doing. Alright, get this one out. That's bang on, absolutely bang on. Could be a small barbel, mate. Oh, it's pulling a little bit. Oh, what have we got here? Don't know. Oh, it's a bream. Oh, denied. Oh. And as you can see, the mix in the feeder is still there, so at least the actual mix is doing its job. Oh god. Right, come on fella, let's be having you. Let's be having you. That's the one. That's the one, mate. These hooks are absolutely bang on, these curved shanks, they really are. Get a good hook hold. Right, mate. Get you rested for 5 minutes, unless you're ready now. Don't want to pull him back too early because he won't have the strength to. Oh, he's got the strength. Lovely jubbly. So the rain that we've had the past couple of days is obviously doing wonders for us at the moment with the fishing. It seems there's a few fish in the area. I was fairly confident that we might get a few fish. You know, we've still got the rest of today and tonight to go, and tomorrow morning yet. I'll be here till tomorrow afternoon, so we've got plenty of time, and it would be nice to get daytime bites. Now I've had quite a few in this sort of peg area, and there's a few videos on the channel that shows that, and there's been some lovely fish, and I think I have a personal best. I can't remember if it was a morning bite or mid-afternoon. I'll have to look at the footage, but yeah, there's some beautiful fish, and I always find the bigger fish are further down this section most of the time. The top section, you know, you can fill your boots, get quite a lot of fish, but they tend to be the smaller ones, so I always venture further down here, and it's not too busy, to be fair, at the moment. There's a few anglers here and there, but there's loads of space between us all, so all in all it's looking absolutely bang on for a bite. Now I've had a few questions about the barbel book. It went out of stock for, I think it was 2 weeks. That's available now on Amazon. It's not an advanced guide, it's for intermediate and sort of novice anglers that have been wanting to get into barbel fishing and bits and bobs. If you're an advanced angler, don't buy it, it's a waste of time, you'll just be wasting your money, it'll just be something to moan about. the book is for novice anglers and beginners wanting to fish big sort of rivers like this, the big Trent, and it covers all different aspects, and it's mainly showing the stuff that I do in my fishing as well, that's tried and tested, and you know, there's videos on the channel that show that. So that book is now back in stock. And also I've done another book. Now for years I've been using spreadsheet books and cheap crap from Amazon, mainly jotting basically a journal of my fishing, and I've been trying to draw maps in it, and it looked a right mess, to be honest. And I thought, you know what, as soon as I'm doing this for myself, I'll sort of make a fishing logbook for myself, something that that's tailored for me and most of the fishing in England. Now that's the book itself. This came out a few weeks back, and it's pretty much got everything you could possibly want when you're doing any kind of match fishing, barbel, pike, carp fishing, if you're doing recce's or anything like that. It's not really much aimed at the sea angler. I mean, there is a catch report and catch log, and that is the book. Really simple, really basic, just covers all the basic bits there. Nice little restocking list here, nice little map area there to draw your maps and your catch log there, and it covers just about every aspect of the sessions. And I absolutely love this. It's tailored basically for me, and I thought, you know what, if people want to buy a copy, they're fine. I mean, it's cheap as chips. It's about a £5, it's about 200 odd pages, and like I say, it's got a nice bit of elegance to it as well, some nice little drawings there, and like I say, the restocking list on the bottom section there is an absolute godsend. The amount of times I go fishing where I've forgotten hooks, bait, food, all I do is when I've done my session, I'll just fill it in. And if I'm doing recce's on lakes and bits and bobs as well, I always fill this in. I'll put the date, the temperature, water clarity, what's it been fishing like, if I've spoken to anyone, and you build a better picture up, and it definitely makes you a better angler, and it certainly has me over the years. I've got notepads, journals, crappy spreadsheets from Amazon. I've bought all different bits and bobs over the years, and I thought, you know what, I'll just do one tailored for myself, and if anyone wants a copy, then it's available to buy. So links in the description for that one. All in all, yeah, it's looking good for a bite, it really is. I'm confident for a barbel later, I really am. But the only downside at the moment, we've got a lot of debris coming through, so I've literally recast the middle rod and the left hand rod. They were covered in debris all over the Fiido, it started pulling it. So I brought them in a little bit closer, and then tonight, if we do have issues with debris, I'll fish 2 rods. I'm only fishing 3 really, because I've got so much space. I've probably got 450 yards of water here, and I can cast them upstream, midstream, and then sort of margins or bottom channel. And yeah, I've got so much space, that's why I love this peg so much. The other ones further down and further up, they're a little bit tight, you know, you've got trees next to you, but on this one, you've got a load of space. It's pretty much a double peg really, but when you've got one person fishing it, you're commanding a bit of water so that nobody's gonna set up next to you, so. Well, we've just had a knock on the left-hand rod, an absolute ripper, and I'm guessing this is gonna be a barbel. Or possibly a carp, I'm not too sure. I've had carp from this section before. Believe it or not, I was just having 5 minutes sleep because I'm absolutely knackered from all the filming I've been doing. I'm just got to be careful this fish doesn't go into the snags. What have we got here? Is it a barbel? No, it's a carp. Oh yes, 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 yes. I've only had 1 carp from this section over the space of all the times I've been on here, so we had a big flurry of action last year, and it was part of a brace, to be honest. I had a barbel and a carp. I don't know if this is big or not, but it's very welcome. You can't beat catching carp out the river, and they don't come out that often on this section, to be honest. That's why this left-hand rod is normally a margin rod. I do like to keep it close in, because that's where the carp are going to be in the calmer water. It doesn't look a big fish by the look of it, but yeah, very welcome. Come on mate, let's be having you. That looks a really nice carp. And sod's law, I've just come back from filming some carp fishing. Right mate, let's be having you. We've got you. No we haven't. Come on. Let's be having you mate. Yes, we've got you. Beautiful. That is absolutely bob on. Let's have a look at you. Yeah, my second carp from the section. Oh, I don't know, you look. Is a 20. Definitely a 20. I mean, look at the girth on that. That might be a mid-20 looking at it. Let's have a feel. Yeah. That's probably mid-20. Well, it's encouraging getting these bites, and we have got an absolutely beautiful fish here, a lovely common, just over £24, £24.7, absolutely immaculate condition, and a real thick set fish as well, to be honest. That is, that's an absolute cracker. I mean, look at the quality of that, absolutely beautiful. I don't catch many carp out the river, I don't normally target them, but there is every chance of catching one from here, but they are few and far between, there's not that many about being caught, but that is a very, very welcome sight. And I actually thought it was a barbel at first, but when it started holding deep, I thought, yeah, it's got to be a carp, and it's my second one out of the section. So I'm not going to mess about, it's fairly mild at the moment. I'll get this fella back and then get all 3 rods cast out, get them baits. I'm definitely going to go for the margins again as well, and then hopefully we can get a few more. But I mean, look at that, pristine condition and an absolute cracker of a fish. Wicked. Always make sure they're fully rested, especially when the river's got a bit of pace to it. He'll be ready soon, won't you, mate? And it was that margin spot just over there, completely out the blue. If you're going to have carp in a river and you've got a bit of pace on it, they're definitely going to be in the margins, without a shadow of a doubt. Most of the time anyway. So we are getting a bit of debris coming through the river. Like I said, it's been raining for the past couple of days, so it might be a bit of a pain tonight when I'm sort of putting the feeders out, so I might have to come down a little bit further in towards the margins, but this is the kind of stuff we're getting on the line. Just bits of debris, old leaves. So that's why I'm giving it every 45 minutes, just recasting the rig out, just to be on the safe side as well. But there is quite a bit of pace to the river at the moment, so I'm definitely going to have to fish closer in tonight. Otherwise, every sort of 45 minutes to an hour, the feeder, not so much the feeder, but the line's just going to get clogged up and start pulling through. And I'm fishing a fairly tight clutch as well, to be honest. So, all in all, I actually thought I had a bream on them, but yeah, that's bang on. That's perfect. So we've just come up to about 2:30. I'm over the moon with that common, I really am. If I don't get any more fish this session, I'll be more than happy. They're quite rare to catch from this section. I mean, I've done loads of sessions on here, and you know, the carp are so elusive, they really are. I mean, obviously the odd one gets caught here and there, but that was absolutely beautiful. So that's my second carp from this stretch, and I always favour, believe it or not, the actual location that we've just caught that carp from was the same area where I had the mirror carp last year. We had a brace, we had a barbel on one rod, and then the left hand rod that shot off with a carp on. But yeah, it was a proper take, pulled really fast, and the first initial thought was a barbel, and then I thought, hold on a minute, this is holding a little bit deep, and then just come to the surface, and a beautiful fish. I'm really over the moon with that one, I really am. So yeah, all I'm doing is, on the hook baits, I'm using homemade boilies, like I said. I'm going to be rolling my own baits for the foreseen future, because I'm doing lots of pre-baiting on lakes for big carp, and it just makes sense. I haven't made it for years, to be honest. I used to do it all the time. I'd be rolling 10-15 kilo a week, going to just about every lake that I was fishing, putting 5 kilo in there, 5 in there, and that's how I did so well when I was younger. I was like a madman. I was every night after work, do like a 12-hour shift, straight home, go down the lake, probably 10 o'clock at night, putting loads of bait out, get home late, and then just doing it every other day, and the results were coming thick and fast from tricky venues as well. So what I've done with these, you can see the colour of them, they're like they're similar to the Tigernut ones that I was using on the key bait stuff I used to use, and I've soaked them in a few spices, some oils, my favourites, and also I've actually put that in the mix I'm using as well. I've put some of the bits and bobs that I put in my ground baits, my salts, a few bits and bobs, some flavours, and it's really, really pungent mix. So anything coming through here, they're going to pick up on it definitely. So yeah, as long as it's tempting for them and they'll go down for a feed, I think we'll be laughing. And I've got them on all 3 rods, really long hook links. I want them long because of the debris coming through. But every 40 to 50 minutes, the rods are just starting to pull round with the debris. So hopefully it'll calm down tonight. I'm definitely going down to 2 rods without a shadow of a doubt. And then we'll just basically just try as luck and go from there. So I'm going to get the kettle on, have a brew, and then keep an eye on these rods and hope that some more fish come along.
Well, the middle rod's just gone off, and I'm going to guess this is a barbel by the way it went off. It went off like the clappers, it really did. And I was just having a 5-minute afternoon snooze again. And it's... oh, don't tell me it's gone for a snag, please. There can't be anything out there. I don't know if it's some thick weed beds or what. Oh, come on. Nice, nice, nice. Yeah, that went off really fast. That's got to be a barbel. Got to be. I can't see it being a carp. I mean, I could be wrong. Oh, go on, my sword. That is what we like. What have we got here? It's giving a good scrap. Really good scrap. From what I can see, I'm the only angler catching at the moment. There's a few anglers nearby and I haven't heard anything going off yet, so this is a good peg though, I do like it. Come on, little fella. This is what we like, a good scrap on the mighty Trent. And there's a little bit of mix left in the feeder as well, which is what I really wanted. I wanted the bait to last as long as possible in the feeder, so it wasn't going to get washed away, because we have got a bit of flow. So come on, mate, you're ready. You come to me, come to me. That's the one, mate. Lovely.
And we have got my first barbel of the season. I'll quickly show you him because it's fairly mild. I've had him resting for about 15 minutes because he gave a good scrap, and if he behaves himself, that is the first barbel of the season for me. Bit of a late comer. Normally I'd be on here, you know, getting as many sessions in as I possibly can, but to be honest, you know, it's not been producing that many fish, so I thought I'd give it a while. Weather's sort of better, conditions are better, and that is an absolute torpedo of a barbel. Not very big, but very, very welcome, and that is the first one of the season, so I'm not going to mess about. I'll get him back, rest him for another 5, and then I'll get that one back out there. That was in the mid-channel, that one was, so that's the one that we got cracked off earlier on. So all in all, I'm happy. We've had a carp, a barbel, a chub and a bream, and the session's going really well, and it's not even evening time yet, so who knows what's in store tonight. You never know, there might be a few more carp, maybe a few more barbel, but for now we'll get this fella back and let's see if we can get any more in the bag. But yeah, what a lovely barbel. Wicked.
What a lovely fish. First one of the season. It's always nice, and a cracker like that, look at that, absolutely beautiful, aren't you, mate? Hey.
So coming up to about 9 o'clock, got probably an hour, sun's starting to set, and it's looking absolutely prime for a bite. I actually had a bit of a weird indication on the right hand rod, the one where I was putting in the margins, well, probably a rod length off the margin. I ended up putting 2.5 ounce leads on with a 4-foot hook link and a bottom bait boilie, cast it out, and there was just a big jolt where I think maybe a fish had hooked itself, used the lead to eject the hook, I'm not too sure. But what I've done now, I've put 2 leads onto a little running clip, and that's going to be a running sort of leisure setup now. So that's in a fairly clear area. It's such a weird thing at the moment because with so much debris coming through, I mean, there was a huge massive tree come through about half an hour ago, so I had to quickly wind all 3 rods in, otherwise it would just completely wiped me out. And we are getting a few indications on the other rods. The odd bleep, I think it's the wind to be honest, because it has picked up quite a bit, and it's cooled down quite a bit as well. It's dropping down to about 8 degrees tonight, but I'm confident for a fish without a shadow of a doubt. If we're going to get bites in the day, I'm hoping that we can get some at night. But sometimes I found in this particular peg, it can be dead strange. You can get bites in the day, nothing at night, and then you do another 24 hours and then you get nothing in the day and bites at night, and that's happened to me so many times in this particular peg. So hopefully we'll get something tonight, but at the moment I'm just going to play it by ear and see what happens. It's not too busy as well. I mean, it's, you know, there's a few cars, but nothing like you'd expect on a normal day where every peg is absolutely rammed. I mean, bearing in mind, most of the time it's busy, you know, just about every day. Loads of people coming down, which, you know, is understandable. So many nice fish in here to catch. It's just an absolute pleasure to be here. So I'm hoping that some of these rods are going to do the business for us. We've had one of each now, so this left-hand rod, I'm excited to see what actually comes through, whether there'll be any carp. Now, with it being quite calm in these margins, I'm so surprised we haven't had a bream yet. I really am. But that's been dead quiet, which is absolutely brilliant. So hopefully later on you might get a few nice carp coming through and catching some. And then the other two rods being out probably 30 yards. They're sort of at the bottom of the drop off. When you start bringing the feeders and bits back, I'm guessing all the branches and snags are settling as it sort of drops off from the margin going down. That's what I'm thinking anyway. So I'm quickly, when I go for a recast, I'm quickly just tightening the line up and then just quickly widening in as quick as I can to get the bait back, the actual feeders, and they're coming back okay now. So far so good. And the right hand rod, that's got 5 ounces of lead now, so 2.5 ounce leads. That's holding bottom not too bad. Like I say, it is a bit pacer having this water on, but it's beautiful, and the reason for that is because it's making the fish move. The past couple of weeks has been so tough. I've tried a couple of stretches, did a day session somewhere, blanked, and then went to here, blanked on here as well. You know, I spoke to loads of anglers, everyone was blanking. The odd fish was being caught, but generally speaking, it has been tough going. But literally, over the past 48 hours, fish have just started coming out left, right and centre. And today's, you know, it proves it. I'm catching the bream, the chub and the carp, and having that barbel. And I think I've lost 2 fish today. I really do. Or it might have been heavy debris coming through, bouncing off the line. You know, me thinking that it's, you know, I've got a fish on that's slowly moving. It's always that part and parcel of river fishing. You get these weird indications sometimes, and that's all down to the length of the hook link. You know, you've got a feeder, 6-foot hook link or 5-foot hook link. When it takes the bait, it can cause a weird reaction on the tip of the rod. All of a sudden you'll get a massive bang on the tip and then it stop. Or normally when you get an absolute belter of a run, you get a bounce and then it'll start pulling. So yeah, I'm just excited to get some more fish under his belt. I really do. Be nice for a couple of barbel tonight. And I've never done any evening shots with this camera, this new camera of mine, so I'm hoping that everything goes to plan. I've got my lighting stuff with me. The only thing I'm worried about is the focusing, what it's going to focus on, where it'll be me or the fish, because at night time it can be a bit of a pain, but we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. If we get any small fish, really small ones, I'll do a quick show and tell in the net. If we get anything worth showing, then I'll obviously get the camera out, the main one, and then show it in there. So without further ado, I think it's time to get the kettle on, have a cuppa. I'm going to keep an eye on all 3 of these rods, and then hopefully tonight we'll get some nice fish in the bag. Well, we're coming up to about 10:30 and the middle rod's just gone off, and we've got an absolutely beautiful bar of gold here. Lovely looking barbel, not a monster but very, very welcome. And this is the second barbel of the session. I've had him resting for 10 minutes, so I'm going to be as quick as I can, and then we'll get him back. But that's a beautiful fish. I mean, look at the markings on it. It's why I love coming here. Absolutely stunning looking barbel that is, and I'm over the moon. Number 2 of the session amongst the carp and the other fish. And like I say, the left-hand rod and the right-hand rod, I'm a bit 50-50 about the barbel, to be honest, but if this middle rod does the business, I'll be more than happy. So without further ado, I'm going to get him back, get him rested for another 10 minutes, make sure he's fighting fit because there's a bit of current on the river at the moment, and then we'll go from there. But that is absolutely beautiful. What a lovely fish. Such a lovely fish, aren't you, mate? That's the one, mate. Beautiful.
Well, good morning, and it's about 6 o'clock, and I've just brought all 3 rods in and checked them, and all the hook baits were gone. Debris sort of gone on the rigs and the line and trapped everything, and you know, it was a nightmare. There was tree branches everywhere. So I've just done a quick recast, and we are into our first fish. This absolutely bolted off. I mean, it screamed off like mad. So I'm hoping this is going to be a nice fish. Which is a bit of a pain, but, and believe it or not, this is just a single hook bait put out in the river. No feeder, no nothing. I'll have to sort that other rod out in a minute. Here we go. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Brought the rods in about half an hour ago to check everything was okay. There was no baits on them, and the what do you call it, all the debris just come through and just poured all on the baits and this, that and the other. And it was a bit of a pain, so I put fresh baits, cast them out, and that rod that's just got the 2.5 ounce leads and one single hook bait has just gone off. So I'll quickly show you this one. Beautiful looking fish, absolute cracker, a right hard fighting Trent barbel. Calm down, mate, just behave yourself. I'll be as quick as I can. And this is the first one of the morning. That is an absolutely beautiful barbel, and I'm over the moon. It's just starting to spit a rain now, so hopefully we might be able to get one more before we leave. I'm here for a good couple of hours yet, so I think we have got a bit of rain forecast for later on. But that's a gorgeous looking fish. Absolutely, look at the markings on it. It's why I love coming here. Beautiful condition, hard fighting fish. So without further ado, since it's raining, I'm going to get this fella back. I'll rest him for 10 minutes, make sure he's still alright, because there's still a bit of pace to the river, and then hopefully we can get some more in the bag. It'd be nice for a couple of more chub as well. We only had one yesterday, but all in all, session's gone brilliant. Had some lovely barbel, beautiful looking carp, and that is just what you want from these kind of sessions, just turning up, trying your luck. And yeah, we're doing well at the moment, so we'll get him back and let's see if we can get any more in the bag. But yeah, happy days, wicked. Oh, he's ready. Go on, mate. That's the one. So we've got about half an hour left. It's been very quiet this morning. So surprised that we didn't have any more fish. And I spoke to the guys next to me about 10 minutes ago, and they had one barbel last night. So all in all, I think we've done really well. The other chaps further up, they had a couple of fish. So this peg has definitely done the business for me, and we've had a nice selection of fish as well. Some beautiful looking barbel, lovely carp, a few annoying bream, and then that lovely chub when we turned up first thing. So all in all, it's been a brilliant session, and we've had his fair share of fish. So now it's a case of probably doing one more recast in about a couple of minutes time, and then all I'm going to do is slowly start packing away. It's still raining a little bit. It's that fine rain, so yeah, it's getting a little bit thicker as I'm speaking actually, but conditions are bang on. You just couldn't wish for any better conditions, to be honest. Where I'm fishing in this peg, I'm sort of on the far end of a bend, so it comes round and the water picks up momentum, the flow of the river, and spins round. So the opposite side of the river is really pacey. I think if I cast over there with a 10 ounce lead, it'd just get dragged round. So at the moment, I'm fairly happy with where the spots are that I'm fishing. It would have been a little bit better if I'd have had the heavy feeders and had all 3 rods further out, but I just can't do it with what I've got. But that's lesson learned. Next time I come, I'll have a big selection of feeders with me and leads. I might bring some PVA stock in as well and just try that, chop boilies, some pellets and whatnot, heavily glug them and fish sort of 5-6 ounce leads, PVA bag of bait, and then try that approach. But normally the feeders are the ones that normally do me every time. So, oh, fish on. Well, I was just doing a piece to camera saying that I'm going to give it half an hour and we'll be ready for a recast, and this rod has ripped off. And this is the single hook bait with the 2 strange looking leads that I put out there, and it just goes to show you, just a single hook bait out there in the right location, and it absolutely bolted off. It feels like a heavy fish, to be honest. I mean, I could be wrong. Apologies for the camera, it's still raining a little bit, so this feels like a nice fish, it really does. He's a scrapper and he's holding deep as well. Quite heavy lunges. Oh, he's going for it. Go on, my son. Yeah, he's holding really deep. Feels like a nice fish. Oh yeah, that's a beauty. Oh yeah. Oh, please don't come off now. Oh, cry if it does. I mean, look at that. That's a lovely looking fish. Go on, mate. Oh. Yes, yes, yes. Well, that was absolutely epic. And that's a lovely looking barbel. Look at that bad boy. Oh, that's definitely a good double figure fish. Well, we've got a 16-pound barbel here. 16-pound 2 ounces. I don't believe it, I really don't. I had a good feeling that we'd get some fish, but I didn't think we'd get a clonker like this one. And that is an absolute unit of a fish. I mean, look at the girth on it and the length. That is an absolutely cracking looking barbel. Really is. So we had some big carp, some absolutely beautiful looking barbel. And now it's a case of getting this back. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to stay for a couple of more hours, but also I've got another one in the net as well. A smaller one, probably scrape a double. So what I'll do, I'll get this fella back and then we'll have a look at that other fish, and then hopefully we can maybe get one more before we leave. I'm being a bit greedy now. I really should leave after this, but you know what it's like. You just want to try your best to get as many as you can. So without further ado, I'll get this beautiful creature back and then I'll show you the other one, get some fresh rigs out and try as luck. But just a single boilie cast into the river and this beautiful female turned up, and all I can say is I'm over the moon. So happy days. Wicked. I mean, look at that. It's so harmless to look, you know, when you're looking at him. Such a beautiful thing they really are, aren't you, mate? Hey, look at them whiskers. Absolutely lovely. You don't want to let them go sometimes. What, 16-pound 2 ounces. Happy days. Right, let's get you back. So this is the second fish, and a slightly smaller one. I'd probably say maybe scrape a 10, maybe something like that. Lovely looking fish, an absolute scrapper, and this is what we like. The condition of these fish are absolutely beautiful, they really are. Right fella, please behave yourself. I'll get you back as quick as I can. Oh, you can always tell a barbel when it's been rested well. Right, that is the second one. Lovely fish. Slightly different shaped frame on that one. Not as chunky, but either way, an absolutely beautiful looking fish. And I'm over the moon. This session's gone absolutely perfect, it really has. I'm not going to get cocky, but it wouldn't surprise me if we get another fish over the next hour or so, maybe. But that is, I mean, what's not to love about barbel fishing? Such a beautiful creature they really are. Right, I'm going to get him back, and then I'll get that third rod out and see if we can get any more. I'm just going to keep the camera under the bivvy for now and then just sit on my call box. But yeah, the session's just been absolutely brilliant, it really has. So get him back and then see if we can get any more in the bag. But yeah, what a lovely fish. So we've come to the end of the session. The batteries, the memory cards, they have literally been depleted. I was going to do an outro on the big camera, what I normally use, but unfortunately it's dead. Batteries have died, no memory left, so I'm having to use the GoPro for this one. It's been a brilliant session. Big carp, big barbel, just the kind of session you want. These things don't happen very often, but when they do, you know, the session's to remember. And I'll be coming back in probably a week's time, give it another go, hopefully in this peg. I do like this swim, mainly for the fact that I've got lots of space and I can just try different bits and bobs when I'm fishing. All in all, we've had probably more than anyone on this particular section here. I've spoken to anglers, they've had the odd fish, but the bait I'm using and all the extra bits and bobs that I haven't shown in this video, you know, the spices, the flavours and all the oils and bits and bobs, has definitely caught us more fish without a shadow of a doubt. You know, using stuff out of the bag's all good and well, but I like to add my own little flavours and bits to just draw the fish in, and it's worked. You know, we've had some really nice fish. So I've got 2 other stretches of river I'm going to be fishing, and we'll give them day sessions. I'm not going to be not fishing on there, give them a bash. River's in good condition at the moment, so when I get back and charged everything, and cleared the memory cards. I'm going to be out tomorrow doing a day session on a different section of the River Trent. And then I've got some other videos I'm working on. They're quite lengthy videos. They're going to be about 2.5 hours long, which are going to be coming out at the end of the year. So all in all, it's been a good session. So I just want to thank everyone for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video.